Friends, here you go with our next case study from CA Final Audit MCQs and Case-Based Scenarios booklet issued by ICAI. You can download it from ICAI webpage. Okay, let's go through the case study. Case study number 34. Mr. Sunil Verma is conducting the statutory audit of Upshant Limited, an unlisted public company, for 2021 to 2021 financial year as an engagement partner on behalf of Verma and Associates, having 6 partners, out of which 4 are chartered accountants and 2 are advocates. This was the third consecutive year of audit by the said audit firm of Upshant Limited. For the current year's audit, a new audit engagement letter was sent by the audit firm to the company. Upshant Limited changed its employee remuneration policy from 1st of April 2020 to provide for 12% contribution to Provident Fund on leave encashment also. As per the leave encashment policy, the employees can either utilize or encash it. As at 31st of March 2021, the company obtained an actuarial valuation for leave encashment liability. As in when employees avail leave encashment, the Provident Fund contribution was made. The company was not sure whether the employees will avail leave encashment or utilize it, and obtain consultancy of Mr. Sunil for the correct accounting treatment to be given as per the relevant Ind AS applicable. So what do you think? Here we need to provide for 12% contribution to Provident Fund, right? Whether it is encashed or whether it is utilized by employees, you need to provide for total 12% contribution in your financial statements. And then let's continue further. Because of the inherent consistency of IT processing, Mr. Sunil did not consider it necessary to increase the extent of testing of a relevant control in inventory handling and maintenance system of the company. Further, for this year's audit, Mr. Sunil observed that the control over sales order processing have been weakened due to change in hierarchy of organization, which has also discussed with the management of the company through the letter of weakness. Mr. Sunil, based on the audit evidence available, narrowed his range for the purpose of evaluating the management's point estimate on particular items which required accounting estimates to be made as disclosed in the balance sheet of the company. The financial statements of Upshant Limited for the financial year 2020 to 2021 was required to be amended due to the occurrence of subsequent events after the balance sheet date, because of which the audit report was also amended by Verma and Associates, which indicated that the auditor's procedures on subsequent events was restricted solely to the amendment in the financial statement described in the relevant note to the financial statements. As part of receiving his remuneration as a partner in Verma and Associates, Mr. Sunil also received a sum of 90,000 as renewal commission on the life insurance agency license held by him for the said purpose. Is he allowed to hold that agency license? Yes, he is allowed as per the general permission given by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. On the basis of the above facts, you are required to answer the following MCQs. Okay, let's go through the first question. For which type of control in inventory handling and maintenance system, Mr. Sunil would have not considered it necessary to increase the extent of testing? So, if it is an automated control, then it is not required for Mr. Sunil to increase the extent of testing, because in case of an automated control, things are more automated. There is no manual intervention involved. But in case where there is any kind of intervention with either with respect to the entity level or the process level, then he need to increase his extent of testing. Therefore, option B is the correct option. Then 34.2, whether Mr. Sunil is permitted to hold a license as an insurance agent? Yes, a general permission has been granted by the Council of Institute ICAI for the said purpose. I'll quickly take you through the study material. So this is an extract from your study material. Under the general resolution, members of the institute in practice be generally permitted to engage in the following categories of occupations, for which no specific permission of the council would be necessary in individual cases. So, in the following situations, no specific permission of council is required. Go through point number 4, holding of life insurance agency license for the limited purpose of getting renewal commission. So in the present case, Mr. Sunil is allowed to take to renew his commission life insurance agency license by way of this general resolution of the institute. So in the given question, option A is the correct option, since it's a general permission given by the council of the ICAI for the said purpose. All other options were irrelevant. So option B says specific permission, which is not required, and option C is and D is saying no, he cannot hold that license, which is not correct. Next question, till what extent ordinarily Mr. Sunil would have narrowed his range for evaluating the management's point estimate for the particular items disclosed in the balance sheet. So this particular point has been discussed in your auditing standards book that is been given to you, which is part A. I had taken a screenshot of it. Let me just take you through it. So from the narrowing in range, go through point number A94, the second paragraph. Ordinarily, a range that has been narrowed to be equal to or less than the performance materiality is adequate for the purpose of evaluating the reasonableness of management's point estimate. So your range scope has to be narrowed to the extent that it is equal to or less than the performance materiality. Therefore, in the current scenario, it is equal to or less than the performance materiality. So it could be either option B or option D. However, option D is the most appropriate answer because it covers all possible outcomes. All possible outcomes, right? So we'll take you through the another point in the same screenshot. A95, the last line, narrowing this range to a position where all outcomes within the range are considered reasonable. So your scope should be narrowed to the extent equal to or less than the performance materiality, and it should cover the all possible outcomes of the changes, right? So option D is the correct option, to be equal to or less than the performance materiality in order to cover all possible outcomes. Therefore, option D is the correct option. Option B is not. Option B is only considering about the reasonable outcomes, but we are not considered. We are not only concerned with the reasonable outcomes. We should also consider only. All those outcomes which were possible from the current situation. So it is option D, to be equal to or less than the performance materiality in order to cover all possible outcomes. It is all possible outcomes, not all reasonable outcomes. So be careful while answering in your examinations. Next question, whether due to the amendment in audit report, its date need to be changed, and what other alternative was available to Verma and Associates with respect to the such amendments in financial statements. See, whenever there is any change in your financial statements after issuing your audit report, you are not supposed to change the audit report date. So the original report will still remain valid. However, you will give another report by emphasizing what matters to be highlighted, which are important for the stakeholders to take investment decisions. This has also been captured in screenshot 1 minute. So here it is. When to give emphasis of matter paragraph in your audit report, go through the examples that was highlighted in blue. So the last point, when facts became known to the auditor after the date of auditor's report, and auditor provides a new or amended audit report, that is for the subsequent events, if he wants to issue or if he wants to modify his opinion, he can issue it. He can make that as an he can make that point to the notice of stakeholders by giving it in emphasis of matter paragraph, not in any other paragraph. Okay, so we'll go through the question. Options given. So it is the date of audit report. Option A says the date of audit report will be changed, which is not correct. So audit report date will remain unchanged. So option B says original date of audit report will remain unchanged and additional date will be included. Alternative available was to provide a new or amended audit report by extending the basis of opinion paragraph. So we are not concerned about basis of opinion. We are giving it in emphasis of matter paragraph. So even option B says the original audit report date remain unchanged. The second part is not correct. You need to give it in emphasis of matter paragraph, not in the basis of opinion paragraph. Okay. And then option C says date of audit report will be changed. So which is not correct. So option C is also not correct. Option D says the original date of audit report will remain unchanged and the additional date will be included. Alternative available was to provide new or amended audit report by including an emphasis of matter paragraph or other matter paragraph. So option D is the correct option. And then going to the next question. What advice Mr. Sunil would have given for the accounting treatment of leave encashment liability? So it's as simple as that. You need to provide a full provision amounting to 12% of PF. Okay. So option C, full provision should be provided by the company for liability with respect to 12% PF on amount of leave encashment as per the actuarial valuation. So it's a straightforward question. So it is not like whenever the employee utilizes, you are making a provision for it. It is not like that. You need to create an entire provision, whether it is availed or whether it is encashed by your employee. So option C is the correct option. The next question. With that, we have completed our case study number 34. We'll see you again with case study number 35. Hope these videos were helpful to you. Do share with your friends who are in need, and do like, share and subscribe to the channel to get the latest updates of the next case studies. Thank you.